Hello students, this is Prakash and today you will study here second lesson of your book Honeydew. The name of the lesson is the Tsunami. Tsunamis are giant waves caused by earthquakes or volcanic eruption under the sea. Out in the depth of the ocean, tsunami waves do not dramatically increase in height, but as the waves travel inland, they build up to higher and higher heights as the depth of the ocean decreases. The speed of tsunami waves depends on ocean depth rather than the distance from the source of the waves. It may travel as fast as jet planes over deep waters, only slowing down when reaching shallow waters, while tsunamis are often referred to as tidal waves. This name is discouraged by oceanographers because tides have little to do with these giant waves. Now students, you must know about tsunami. In 2004, that is 26 December 2004, India suffered the waves of tsunami. A series of massive tsunami waves grew up to 30 meters high once hitting inland after being created by the underwater seismic creative activity offshore. It killed an estimated almost 2,27,898 people in 14 countries. In India, Tamil Nadu and Andaman and Nicobar Islands were affected very much from these waves, as well as Sri Lanka, which is neighboring country of India. It also suffered a lot by these waves. In your lesson, the tsunami, here some events are given and some people who were courageous faced the giant waves and survived. The first story is about Ignatius. His wife woke him up at 6 a.m. sensing an earthquake. Ignatius put the television on the ground to save it from earthquake. That we must do. If we feel the earthquake, then we must keep the valuable things on the ground and we must be away from any building or tree. Then all the members of the family of Ignatius rushed out. When the tremors stopped, they saw the sea rising. That was the tsunami, and it created confusion among them, and they ran but in opposite directions. Means they were running in chaos. His wife swept away. Her two children, along with her father and brother, were also lost. They were stuck by the waves and they were swept away from that place. Thus, Ignatius lost his wife, two children, his father-in-law and his brother-in-law in tsunami. Then another story comes about Sanjeev. He was a policeman and however he managed to save himself, his wife and his baby daughter. Then only he heard the cries for help and he came forward to help others. John's wife, who was his guest house cook, he jumped into the water to save her, but John and his wife both swept away and drowned. Another story is about Magna, who was a 13-year-old girl. She was also swept away along with her parents and 77 other people. However, in terror, or you can say in courage, she held on to a wooden door and kept floating on it for 2 days. And as a result, what happened? She was brought to the shore by a wave and saved. The another story from the same place is about Elmas, who was 10 years old boy, and his family was sleeping at that time when he saw water receding and felt terrified. Alma's father had woken up at that time and he tried to save everyone in his family. However, they were not able to survive and they all were swept away in these waves. Almost in all these events survived and found after that in a hospital. These all stories were from India along with the territory that is Andaman and Nicobar. And now here the second story is also that is the second part, and that story is from Thailand. Tilly's family had come to Thailand from England to celebrate Christmas. It was December 26, as I told you earlier. She was standing with her family on the beach. Tilly and her mother, Penny Smith, both saw the water swelling, and it was also receding toward them. The beach was getting smaller and smaller every moment. They saw the sea slowly rise and start to foam, as it happens during the tsunami waves. Tilly saw the sea making whirlpools. Tilly's mother was not alarmed by these signs, but Tilly remembered the video that her geography teacher had shown in the class 2 weeks before. It occurred to her that these were the sure signs of tsunami, as her geography teacher told her. She screamed and asked her family to go off the beach. The mother did not sense anything terrible. She, however, felt that her daughter must be right. They all went back to hotel. Many others also left the beach with them. Then it was as if the entire sea had come after them. The building withstood the force of the tsunami. If they had stayed on the beach, they would have been dead. So here the geography lesson saved many, as Tilly knew what were the signs of tsunami. In the third part, that is the third story, it is from Sri Lanka. You must believe that animals possess a sixth sense, as you would have studied in your science book that animals can hear ultrasonic sound. And in this story, that is from Sri Lanka, 60 visitors were washed away, but only 2 animals died in that event. In the same park, people had observed 3 elephants run away from the beach an hour before the tsunami hit. A man on the coast near Gale in Sri Lanka had 2 dogs. On that fertile day of tsunami, they refused to go to the beach with their master. So the master too stayed back. Thus the dogs had saved his life also. So students, These all were the stories from the tsunami tragedy, that how people survived and how people faced the sufferings. Through this lesson, you will have understood about tsunami waves and the disaster management. Whenever natural calamities occur, they cannot be controlled. However, their knowledge can save the lives of the people as well as of the animals, because these are the real treasure of any country.